They are opening their salvation shops all over the place and suing people for pointing to their soap. And when we take them up on their offer and we're ready to go to court, and lawyers begin to show up all over the country providing free legal services so that this soap business can end, then they say God said they should withdraw the case. If I was very dark man, don't worry.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in and welcome back once again to the channel. It is always an honor to have you stop by, man. You guys are good, man. Good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you're watching MisterJaay from. Man, today is my birthday and I feel it kind of, man, I'm getting old, but hey, that's life, man. So I want you to think about being part of the family, and this vlog I want us to talk about something real interesting. Let me say this. Sometimes it takes a David to put down a Goliath. Yes, let me repeat that. Sometimes in life, it takes a David to put down a Goliath, man. And once again, man, thank you for coming through. I want us to get started right away, and let's not talk. Now, speaking about a David and Goliath situation, you guys remember that a while ago, man, there's this activist, man, this people's person in Nigeria called VeryDarkMan, and he had this situation, this entanglement with this Goliath, in quotes, called Pastor Jeremiah, and we all know how that went. And it turns out that this Goliath did not think that a David like VeryDarkMan is supposed to be fact-checking him, fact-checking everything that he's doing in the name of church. So this man sued VeryDarkMan to the courts, claiming defamation, slander of character, this and that. Unbeknownst to him that VeryDarkMan was actually very, very ready to take on him. And then out of the blue, this same Goliath said God told him. Now I wonder what kind of God he talks to. Said God told him to withdraw the case. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all know, man, we all know exactly what some of these charlatans and juju men do in Africa in the name of religion. We all know that religion is a business out there in Africa, and most people take advantage of gullible people. And I will say this, man, apart from bad governance in Africa, this whole movement we call Pentecostal movement or evangelism is that cankerworm that needs to be eradicated in African societies, because it is crippling a whole lot of people. You might sit and say, but Mr. J, that's not true. Let me tell you, there are millions and millions of Africans that have been held. And I mean, they've been brainwashed by people like Jeremiah in various societies. I don't want to talk so much, and somebody sent me this information and this video. So after he said he was going to sue VeryDarkMan to court, because VeryDarkMan pointed out all the fake things that this guy is selling, sometimes I wonder why people still go through these type of churches. I really do not understand, but it is not my place to understand. I know some of you will come on here and like, Mr. J, touch not my anointed, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Let me say it straight, point blank to you guys. Jeremiah is a crook and he's a thief. That's a charlatan, because we have seen, it's like this man keeps showing you guys his ungodly ways, but you guys keep believing, and you still have people that come online to try to defend these types of thieves in societies, these type of brainwashers in societies. Of course, the government is not going to do anything, because in most African societies, the government and politicians use these charlatans to try to, whitewash what they are doing and what they are not able to do for the constituents. Let's come back to the recent news, man. So after saying that he will sue this man to court, VeryDarkMan asked him, please go ahead. He got a lawyer. And then this man says he's going to withdraw the case, but the case is already in court. So you need to proceed with this whole issue. Now, this man recently, VeryDarkMan came out to let us know that his lawyers went to court recently, and this other criminal's lawyer didn't show up. You remember the big mouth thieves who went online and said he was suing VeryDarkMan? Now, do you know how much he sued this brother for? 1 billion naira. Why? Because this brother caught him on his tricks. Yes, some of you might ask, but Jay, how did he catch this man on his tricks? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have never ever seen church, like the traditional church, in the concept of when we were growing up. We had never ever seen this type of mess that is going on around Africa today in the name of church. We saw the situation of somebody waking up a dead person and that person eating in his own funeral, at his own funeral, and that was debunked immediately. But what this guy Jeremiah is doing is beyond any rationality. Now, I don't know who keeps going to his church, but every time that we see he has flocks, he has people walking around him. I mean, these people are so brainwashed that I don't even know if they get it, that this man is actually leading them away from the God they want to follow. What did VeryDarkMan do to Jeremiah? VeryDarkMan called out the nonsense that he's selling to his flocks, to his brainwashed people, the so-called the miracle soap, the so-called the miracle money, the so-called the miracle ATM, the so-called the miracle fish, candles, this and that. And let me just say this. If somebody comes out and tells you, I am selling a $1,000 note or a 1,000 naira note for 30,000 naira or 50,000 naira, and you have to keep it for a couple of weeks, and then it would miraculously make you rich, and you are striving to feed your family. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a con artist. That is not a preacher. That is not what the church is been built on. I have never ever seen anywhere in the Bible where it says somebody sold 1 unit for something and then they get multiple units of anything. You might come back and tell me that, but MisterJaay, Jesus fed 5,000 people. Well, he did not sell, he fed. You feel me? Now, this man's lawyers went to court and Jeremiah's lawyers did not show up. Now, let's watch this video of VeryDarkMan actually saying this. Let's watch.
My lawyer don't reach court now. See what happened for court.
Everybody knows that as at the last sitting of the court, the position is that all the pending applications, which include their motion for interlocutory injunction and our own motion too, to stop them from selling unlicensed, unregistered, and unapproved products, is slated for today for hearing. But unfortunately, we are in court today, and the counsel to the church, counsel to Prophet Jeremiah failed to show up. And he did not even send a letter to the court. The only representative of the court, of the church, informed the court that the counsel is out of town. One would think that a case of this magnitude, that everybody takes serious, including the parties and the counsel thereto, a lawyer will not show up. A big firm of path legal of Mr. Samuel Nseke, who has many counsel in his office. No representative came from that law office. And we consider it that a game of hide and seek has started. And we will not condone that. And that is why we asked the court to grant us a cost of 200,000 naira. But in the opinion of the court thought that this is the first time they are seeking an adjournment, and the court did not award the cost of 200,000 naira. And as we all know that this court is a court of a vacation court. So the vacation ends next week. So the presiding judge has now returned the case file to the chief judge for reassignment. So the Honorable Chief Justice of FCT will reassign the case file to another judge, another justice of this court, FCTI court, for hearing of all the pending applications and the substantive trial. So as of today, there's no definite date for coming back, but the case has gone back to the chief judge, who will now give it to a regular court that will hear the case from the beginning to the end. So we get another date from the judge where it may be assigned to. So that is the latest development. That is where we are.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, man. Well, that was VeryDarkMan letting us hear what his lawyer had to say. And as his lawyer said, they didn't show up. Now, that is making a mockery of the judicial system in Nigeria. But we all know that all across Africa, man, some of these so-called big men in society, some of these so-called wealthy folks in society, they manipulate and they play the justice system, and they make Lady Liberty sway to their way. Now, let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes when these so-called your preachers or men of God in quotes, when they get caught on their games, when they get called out, they feel like they have been disrespected. Now, I don't know if any rational thinking lawyer or any rational thinking judge will come out and listen to this court and try to side with Jeremiah. Yes, he might be or whatever, but to me his name is Jeremiah because he's a crook. He does not represent the real Jeremiah from the story in the Bible, the biblical Jeremiah that we know. This is not what this clown is doing. How would you be selling? You say water from the Red Sea. When did you get water from the Red Sea? Who did you send? I bet you it's just water that he carried from probably from his house. He said he's selling miracle fish. If you catch one, you will be miraculously rich. And people flocked there and went and they bought. Now, I don't know, but one thing I know for sure is this, man. I have made it a mission in my life that if I ever become friends with you and I realize that you are so deep into that mess, I sidelined you. Coming back to the whole story, who do you think is going to win this court case? And do you think that this man's lawyer not coming to court, I mean Jeremiah's lawyer not showing up in court, it is already a sign that he knows that he will be defeated? And for all my VeryDarkMan followers, and I'm a strong supporter of what this brother is doing. I did drop a vlog talking about what the impact of this brother's work in the Nigerian society. I want this brother to take this court to the fullest. I'm saying this case, VeryDarkMan is not supposed to drop this case. Man, let's go on with this case and let's go to the end of it. You know, some of these folks, they hire actors to come and act like, I was blind, now I see this and that. I want this man to bring all of these people to court and let them go through the history, medical history, to see if he was really this person, so and so person was actually blind and Jeremiah treated them and this and that. Because at the end of the day, this man is enriching himself. Now, I don't know what is happening in other countries. They have been shutting down churches and stuff like that. Maybe it's time for the Nigerian government to step up and start canceling and closing down these folks and freezing their bank accounts because they get rich at the detriment of their followers. This is plain evil. This is not God's work. That's my time. Leave your comment and let me know exactly what you think. Should VeryDarkMan push on and continue with the case, or should this man just come out and say that, hey, I'm a charlatan, I'm a crook, all the miracles I say I do is false? We all know that they don't do that until they die. That's my time. Stay blessed. And hey, I hope you share my cake with me. Peace.